Why are humans banned from galactic war? It's a question whispered in secret halls across the galaxy. Today, inside the heart of a prestigious alien academy, a group of young alien students will finally learn the forbidden truth. The classroom is unlike any other. Walls glowing with soft blue light, holographic screens hovering midair, displaying star maps and ancient texts. The air hums with anticipation. No one speaks as the teacher steps forward. She is known for telling harsh truths, for revealing what others dare not. Her eyes scan the room, settling on the curious faces of her students. Today, she begins, her voice steady and calm. We will uncover why humans are banned from galactic warfare. This is not a lesson given lightly. The students lean in. Across the galaxy, many have only heard rumors. Stories told in hushed tones about the savage humans who defied every rule and nearly brought ruin to countless worlds. But none had seen the proof until now. The teacher gestures, and a vast hologram of Earth appears. Blue ocean swirl, green forest shimmer. This is their home, she says, a planet of extremes, where life struggled to survive in chaos. From the very beginning, humans fought not just enemies, but nature itself. The hologram shifts to scenes of ancient battlefields on Earth, primitive weapons clashing, fires burning under dark skies, desperate faces locked in combat. Humans were forged in hardship, the teacher explains. Unlike other species, their history is written in constant conflict. But it is not their violence alone that led to their ban. It is how they fought, relentlessly, unpredictably, without mercy or reason at times. The room falls silent. The students exchange uneasy glances, sensing that this story is far darker than anything they imagined. A young alien with bright, shimmering skin raises a tentative hand. Teacher, he asks, did humans break the galactic code? Did they cheat or betray other species? The teacher shakes her head slowly. No, humans did not break the code in any conventional way. They fought by their own rules, rules no one could understand. Their strategies were unlike anything we had ever seen, brutal, innovative, and terrifyingly effective. The hologram flickers, now showing advanced war machines, robots moving with cold precision, soldiers enhanced beyond biology, weapons that seemed almost alive. Humans combined raw strength with relentless innovation, the teacher says. They used technology in ways that blurred the lines between man and machine. Their battlefield tactics were fluid, adapting faster than anyone could predict. This made them unstoppable. The students watch, eyes wide, as images of human fleets defeating vastly superior alien forces play out before them. They were not just fighters, the teacher continues, they were a force of nature. The atmosphere grows heavier. The teacher's voice lowers. But it was not just their weapons or tactics that caused fear. It was their will to survive, an unbreakable spirit that refused to surrender, even in the face of overwhelming odds. This spirit was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. The students sit in stunned silence, the weight of a lesson sinking in. The teacher's gaze softens for a moment. Humans are unpredictable. They defy logic. They take risks no other species would dare. And this unpredictability made them a threat so great, the Galactic Council had no choice but to ban them from war. The hologram fades, leaving only the quiet hum of the classroom. You may wonder, the teacher says, why we teach this lesson now. It is because the galaxy is changing. Old fears are stirring again. The humans are still out there, still growing, still unknown. Understanding their history is the first step to preparing for what may come. The students look at each other, a mixture of awe and fear in their eyes. The story of humanity, the banned warriors of the galaxy, has only just begun to unfold. The Galactic Code is the foundation of peace across the stars. It is an ancient set of laws, written by the galaxy's oldest civilizations, meant to govern war between species. Every member of the Galactic Council swore to follow it without exception. Yet, there is one glaring exception: humans. The moment the teacher mentioned this, a murmur spread through the classroom. "Why?" one student whispered. "Why are humans the only race banned from war?" The teacher's eyes darkened. Because their very existence challenges the code itself. The hologram shifted, showing the shimmering text of the Galactic Code, its rules glowing with an almost sacred light. The code demands fairness, honor, restraint. Humans defied these ideals not by breaking the laws, but by their nature. Their unpredictability made the code impossible to enforce. The students looked puzzled. How could one species be beyond rules? Humans never played by the same rules as other species. They adapted, innovated, and changed the battlefield in ways no one anticipated. Their actions were chaotic yet effective. The teacher's voice lowered. It was this chaos that terrified the Galactic Council. The room grew quieter as she continued. Imagine a war where no one knows your next move, where your enemy's strategies evolve mid-battle, breaking every pattern you studied for centuries. That was humanity's war style. They turned unpredictability into their deadliest weapon. The holograms shifted to ancient battles, fleets of starships shifting formations in impossible ways, soldiers appearing where none were expected, technology changing in real time. Other species relied on tradition and routine. Humans shattered these expectations. They rewrote the rules without saying a word. A student with tentacle-like appendages frowned. But did humans ever break alliances or treaties? The teacher shook her head. No. In fact, humans respected alliances deeply. Their betrayal came not from dishonor, but from their relentless drive to survive and win, no matter the cost. The room fell into heavy silence. The students absorbed the weight of what they were learning. Their war was not just about victory, the teacher added. It was about evolution, constant, brutal, and unstoppable. The Galactic Council feared that allowing humans to fight would break the fragile peace of the galaxy. Another hologram flickered, a council chamber filled with solemn representatives from countless species. After long debate, the council voted unanimously. Humans were banned from galactic warfare, not as punishment, but as a safeguard, to protect the galaxy from a force that could not be contained. The students stared at the images, the full impact sinking in. One whispered, "But if humans are so dangerous, how do they survive outside the Council's laws?" The teacher's expression hardened. They survive because their unpredictability is also their strength. It allows them to face threats no one else can, but it also makes them wild cards in the cosmic game. The lesson ended with a final warning. Understanding humans is no longer optional. They are growing in power and influence. The galaxy must prepare or risk being undone by the very species it tried to contain. The students left the classroom, minds racing, carrying the heavy truth of the Galactic Code and the human enigma. The early history of humans is a story of survival against impossible odds. Unlike most species who rose quietly in the galaxy, humans were forged in a relentless crucible of hardship and conflict. The teacher's voice carried a weight that held the alien students spellbound as the holograms displayed scenes of ancient Earth, vast deserts, frozen tundras, and dense jungles where life barely clung to existence. From the beginning, humans were not just fighting enemies, she explained. They were fighting nature itself. Extreme climates, scarce resources, and constant danger shaped their evolution. The images shifted to early humans hunting in packs, using crude tools and weapons carved from stone and bone. The teacher continued, Their strength was not in technology at first, but in their adaptability and cooperation. Unlike many species that rely on instinct, humans learned to think, plan, and strategize. They hunted together, shared knowledge, and overcame challenges through sheer determination. The students nodded, intrigued by the raw tenacity of a species so different from their own. But it was not just survival that defined humanity, the teacher warned. Their history is riddled with conflict, tribal wars, territorial battles, endless cycles of violence that pushed them to develop ever more advanced methods of combat. Holograms showed early human warriors battling each other with spears and shields, the first sparks of organized warfare. Each war hardened them, made them smarter, more ruthless. They learned to exploit weaknesses, deceive enemies, and strike with precision. The aliens watched, some unsettled by the brutal efficiency of early human fighters. Yet, the teacher said, what truly set humans apart was their willingness to embrace chaos. While other species prized order and predictability, humans thrived in uncertainty. They turned chaos into an advantage. The classroom darkened, and the hologram projected human battlefields littered with broken weapons and shifting fronts. They fought with passion and desperation. When tactics failed, they improvised. When cornered, they fought harder. The students could feel the tension in the air, sensing that humanity's chaotic spirit was something alien and dangerous. A student with shimmering scales raised a question. How did humans develop their technology if they were so chaotic? The teacher smiled slightly. That is the paradox. Their chaos fueled creativity. War was the crucible for invention. Every threat sparked new ideas, new weapons, new strategies. Unlike species that progressed slowly and cautiously, humans accelerated rapidly. The hologram displayed human inventions, from simple slingshots evolving into advanced firearms, and then to experimental energy weapons. They never settled. They constantly pushed boundaries, driven by fear, ambition, and survival instinct. The teacher's tone grew serious. This relentless evolution made humans unpredictable and dangerous. Their enemies could never be sure what new tactic or weapon would appear next. This kept humans one step ahead, even against superior forces. Alien students exchanged uneasy glances. The story of human history was more than just facts, it was a warning. Humans were not merely fighters, the teacher concluded. They were survivors shaped by endless conflict. Their history is a testament to the power of adaptability and the raw will to live. This is why the Galactic Council feared them, not because humans were invincible, but because they refused to be controlled. The classroom grew silent as the students absorbed the lesson. The teacher's final words lingered in the air. To understand humanity is to understand a force of nature, wild, chaotic, and endlessly evolving. Human weapons were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. The classroom darkened as the teacher activated a new hologram, revealing a parade of advanced technology that shimmered with cold precision. Humans did not rely solely on brute force, she began. They weaponized their ingenuity. Their arms evolved at an unprecedented pace, far beyond what other species could imagine. The students leaned forward as the images shifted to show robotic soldiers moving with eerie coordination, their movements both mechanical and fluid. These are autonomous units, the teacher explained. Machines designed to think, adapt, and learn on the battlefield. Unlike traditional armies, human forces could fight without rest, without hesitation. The alien students whispered among themselves, fascinated and unsettled by the notion of machines that could outthink organic beings. Next, the holograms revealed soldiers enhanced through biology, muscles grafted with synthetic fibers, neural implants linking minds to machines. Human warriors became more than flesh and bone, the teacher said quietly. They became living weapons, their reflexes faster than any alien could match. Their minds could process data in real time, coordinating strikes with precision that defied comprehension. A student with shimmering wings asked, "Did these enhancements make humans unstoppable?" The teacher nodded slowly. Almost. Their technology turned battlefields into chessboards where humans played several moves ahead. But it was not just their tech, it was their ability to innovate under pressure. Images of battlefield innovations filled the room, energy shields that adapted to enemy fire, weapons that reconfigured themselves mid-fight, drones that swarmed enemies like living clouds. Humans could change tactics instantly, the teacher said. When an enemy thought they had an advantage, humans would shift strategy, turning defense into offense in a heartbeat. This fluidity was terrifying. The teacher's voice grew darker. But there was a deeper layer, an intelligence that machines and implants could never replicate: human creativity. In moments of chaos, humans invented new ways to fight, often using their environment and emotions in ways no one predicted. The students watched, captivated by holograms showing humans turning ruins into traps, using psychological warfare, and exploiting enemy fears. Other species fight by protocol and predictability, the teacher continued. Humans fought by intuition and daring. Their unpredictability shattered enemy morale and forced constant adaptation. One alien whispered, "They fight with passion, not just strategy." The teacher's gaze was steady. Yes, and that passion makes them dangerous beyond technology. The hologram shifted again, displaying devastating human victories against overwhelming odds. Humans used every tool, every trick, and every ounce of willpower to survive and conquer. Their enemies learned that brute strength alone could not defeat them. The students sat in silence, absorbing the terrifying reality. Because of this, humans forced the galaxy to rethink warfare, the teacher concluded. They blurred the line between soldier and machine, chaos and order. This made them a threat unlike any other, unpredictable, relentless, and frighteningly effective. The students realized that humans were not just a species with weapons. They were a force that challenged the very nature of war itself. The lesson ended with a solemn warning. The weapons humans wielded were only part of their danger. Their true power came from their ability to innovate in the face of destruction, an endless cycle of creation and adaptation that made them nearly unstoppable. The students left the classroom deep in thought, the image of human war machines and enhanced warriors etched into their minds. They understood now that humanity's technological evolution was not just advancement. It was a revolution that had changed the course of galactic history forever. The galaxy held its breath during what would come to be known as the Final War, a conflict so devastating it nearly tore the very fabric of peace apart. The teacher's voice was low but steady as the holograms flickered to life, showing star systems engulfed in flames and shattered fleets drifting silently in the void. This war was unlike any before. Humans, with their relentless drive, faced alliances of entire species united against them. It was a battle for survival, not just dominance. The alien students watched, wide-eyed, as images revealed human ships darting through space like shards of light, evading attacks with impossible maneuvers. They broke through defenses that others believed impenetrable, the teacher explained. Where enemy strategy relied on predictable formations, humans moved unpredictably, striking weak points no one else saw. Their tactics were fluid, chaotic, yet horrifyingly precise. The classroom grew tense. This was not brute force alone, the teacher continued. It was a war of willpower. humans fought with a desperation born from their history of survival against impossible odds. They refused to surrender, no matter the cost. Holograms displayed brutal battles on planetary surfaces, scorched Earth, ruins, and human soldiers fighting tooth and nail against overwhelming enemies. A student with iridescent eyes whispered, "Did humans lose any battles?" The teacher shook her head. They lost many, but every loss only hardened them. Each defeat sparked new strategies, new technologies, and a fiercer determination. They learned faster than anyone else, turning setbacks into stepping stones. The holograms shifted to the Galactic Council chambers, where leaders from countless species debated fiercely. The council faced a dilemma, the teacher said. Humans were growing too powerful, too unpredictable. Their will to survive made them a force beyond control. The war threatened to unravel alliances and ignite galaxy-wide chaos. The students absorbed the weight of the lesson. The teacher's voice dropped. At the height of the final war, humanity unleashed weapons and tactics that no other species could counter. Their enemies were broken, their worlds devastated. Entire fleets vanished without a trace. The holograms showed wreckage and silent space graves, a chilling testament to the ferocity of the conflict. But it was not just their power that alarmed the council, the teacher explained. It was the moral ambiguity. Humans fought with a blend of mercy and ruthlessness that confused their enemies. Sometimes they spared foes, other times they destroyed everything in their path. This unpredictable humanity unsettled even the oldest species. The classroom was silent except for the hum of the holograms. The final war nearly ended all galactic order, the teacher said gravely. In a desperate move to save the galaxy, the council imposed a ban on humans, a ban from galactic warfare. This was not a punishment, but a safeguard. She paused. It was a warning to all. Humanity's power is a double-edged sword. The students sat in stunned silence, the image of humans as both saviors and destroyers etched in their minds. To this day, the teacher concluded, the final war remains a lesson in fear, respect, and caution. Humans are not just warriors. They are a force of nature, capable of creation and destruction beyond imagining. As the lesson ended, the students left the room quietly, their thoughts heavy with the realization that humans were unlike any species they had ever known, wild, relentless, and terrifyingly powerful. The ban on humans from galactic warfare did not end their story. In fact, it marked the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with shadow, intrigue, and silent power. The teacher's voice grew softer, drawing the students closer into the depths of the mystery surrounding humanity's true strength. Though barred from open conflict, she said, humans did not vanish from the galaxy. Instead, they adapted to their new role, masters of covert influence and unpredictable strategy. The hologram displayed images of sprawling cities, vast space stations, and hidden outposts where humans worked quietly behind the scenes. Without the battlefield to prove their power, humans turned to intelligence, diplomacy, and technology in secretive ways. They became unseen forces, shaping events from the shadows. The students watched, fascinated, as a hologram revealed human agents slipping through alien territories undetected, manipulating alliances and secrets. One student, covered in crystalline scales, asked, "How do humans continue to grow so strong without fighting?" The teacher smiled knowingly. Their adaptability is legendary. Deprived of open warfare, humans perfected the art of subtlety. They learned to influence rival factions, gather intelligence, and exploit weaknesses without raising alarms. The images shifted to show human diplomats negotiating tense treaties and operatives sabotaging enemy systems with surgical precision. But it was not just cunning that defined them, the teacher continued. Humans also developed technologies far beyond what most species dare to imagine. Their scientists worked in secret, creating devices that blurred the lines between science and magic. Energy fields that could cloak entire fleets, communication systems that bypass detection, and weapons that could disable without destruction. The classroom filled with a sense of awe and unease. The teacher's voice lowered further. Their greatest weapon became their unpredictability. While others relied on established protocols, humans acted spontaneously. Their decisions were informed by a unique blend of logic, emotion, and risk-taking that no one could anticipate. The hologram showed scenarios where humans turned apparent defeat into stunning victories simply by taking bold, unexpected actions. A student with long, flowing tendrils asked, "Is this why the Galactic Council fears humans even now?" The teacher nodded. Exactly. Though banned from direct war, humans have never stopped influencing galactic events. Their covert operations, technological breakthroughs, and unyielding spirit mean they remain a wild card, one the Council watches with both fear and respect. The lesson took a darker turn as the teacher revealed whispers of human involvement in galactic politics. There are rumors, she said quietly, of humans manipulating conflicts to their advantage, of secret alliances with powerful factions, and of hidden agendas that no one fully understands. The students exchanged uneasy looks, realizing that humanity's influence was far-reaching and enigmatic. But remember, the teacher concluded, humans do not seek domination for its own sake. Their actions are driven by survival and a fierce desire to protect their own. They are as much defenders as aggressors, willing to forge unlikely partnerships when it suits their purpose. The hologram faded, leaving the room heavy with contemplation. As the students filed out, the weight of humanity's complex legacy settled over them. The banned warriors of the galaxy were no longer just relics of a violent past. They were living, breathing forces, shaping the future in ways no one fully understood. The galaxy whispered stories of human resilience and cunning, but few truly understood the depth of their influence. As the teacher's voice filled the room, the alien students felt the weight of centuries of hidden history. Humans, she said, are masters not just of war or technology, but of survival itself. Their greatest strength lies in their ability to endure and to evolve. The holograms displayed scenes of human colonies scattered across distant stars, each one thriving in environments other species deemed uninhabitable. Where others saw deserts, frozen wastelands, or toxic atmospheres, humans saw opportunity, the teacher explained. They adapted their technology and biology to survive in these harsh worlds. This relentless drive expanded humanity's reach far beyond their home planet. One student, with skin that shimmered like liquid metal, asked, "How do humans manage to survive such extremes when other species struggle?" The teacher's eyes gleamed. It is not just their technology, but their mindset. Humans embrace challenge, uncertainty, and risk in a way that is almost alien. Their willingness to face the unknown head-on has allowed them to conquer worlds others abandoned. The holograms shifted to show human explorers venturing into dark space, encountering alien species, and forging fragile alliances. Despite their ban from galactic war, humans never stopped pushing boundaries, the teacher continued. Their explorers are bold, their diplomats cunning. They understand that survival requires more than firepower. It demands adaptability and foresight. The students watched as the images depicted tense negotiations, trade agreements, and covert operations, all orchestrated by humans whose true motives remain shrouded in mystery. Humans operate on multiple levels, the teacher said. They are warriors, diplomats, spies, and innovators. This complexity makes them difficult to predict or control. A student with glowing eyes leaned forward. If humans are so adaptable, could they ever return to galactic warfare? The teacher's expression grew serious. The council fears this possibility. Though humans have accepted the ban, their power continues to grow. Should the need arise, they could re-enter the battlefield with a force unlike anything seen before. The holograms darkened, showing hypothetical scenarios where humans rejoined galactic conflicts, turning tides, breaking alliances, and reshaping the galaxy's balance of power. This is why the Council monitors humans closely, the teacher said. Their potential to disrupt peace remains a constant threat. The lesson deepened as the teacher spoke of the human spirit, the core of their strength. Humans possess a resilience born from millennia of hardship, she explained. They carry scars of war, loss, and survival. But from those scars comes a fierce determination to endure and protect what they cherish. The classroom was silent as the students absorbed the lesson. To understand humanity, the teacher concluded, is to understand a paradox. They are simultaneously fragile and unbreakable, destructive and compassionate. Their place in the galaxy is uncertain, but their impact is undeniable. As the students left, they carried with them a new respect and a lingering unease. Humans were not just legends of war. They were an evolving force, unpredictable and powerful, shaping the galaxy in ways few dared to imagine. The classroom was silent as the teacher concluded the final lesson on humanity's place in the galaxy. The holograms faded, leaving only the faint glow of stars against the darkened walls. Humans, she said quietly, are a paradox wrapped in chaos and courage. Their ban from galactic warfare was never about punishment. It was about fear of a species that could change the course of history forever. The students exchanged glances, the weight of her words sinking deep. Throughout history, the teacher continued, humans have shown an uncanny ability to turn despair into hope, defeat into victory. Their spirit is unyielding. They were forged by hardship and unrelenting conflict. This is why the Council felt compelled to isolate them, to prevent a force beyond control from igniting the galaxy. A student with glistening feathers asked softly, "But what of the future? Will humans always remain banned? Or will they someday return to the battlefield?" The teacher's eyes darkened with thought. No one can say for certain. Humanity's path is unpredictable, just like the humans themselves. They might embrace peace and grow into a force for unity. Or they might reclaim their place in war, reshaping everything we know. The holograms flickered back to life, showing visions of starscapes and human ships journeying through the unknown. What is certain, the teacher said, is that humans will never be easy to understand or control. Their history teaches us that the galaxy must always be prepared for their return, their influence, or even their rebellion. The room filled with a heavy silence as the students absorbed the final lesson. They had learned that humanity was more than a banned species. They were a living enigma, a force that defied rules and expectations. Remember this, the teacher urged. Humans are not just another race. They are a challenge to everything the galaxy stands for. And that challenge will endure. As the students left, their minds raced with questions and newfound respect. Humanity's story was far from over. It was a story of survival, innovation, and raw, unpredictable power. And as the galaxy moved forward, one truth remained clear. Humans were a force to be reckoned with, now and forever. Outside the classroom, the stars seemed to shine a little brighter, hinting at the restless spirit of a species that refused to be confined. The ban might limit their presence in war, but it could never limit the human will to survive, adapt, and ultimately change the universe.